Alrighty. Oh, that looked a little quieter. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Guess the Banzuke. It is the first guess of the year, and taking a little lessons from last time, we're gonna try to guess this one a little bit better. And even though I consistently get bottom 50 in my guesses, just don't guess what I guess, and maybe you'll get a better score. But either way, uh, we have a lot of exciting movers and shakers on the Banzuke. First things first, of course, Teruno Fuji, Kirishima, Hoshoryu, they're all going to be staying the same spot. Takakeisho, however, he is going to be moving up because Kotono Waka, as the newest Ozeki, is going to be occupying the lowest Ozeki slot. And that is good for everyone involved. Then I forgot to do this before I started the recording, but let's go through and highlight everyone in green that had winning records so we can get a better idea of who's going to be moving where. And there are a lot of losers on this Banzuke, aren't there? Lots of losers. Holy crap. Sanoyama is moving up. Nishikigi's moving up. Nishikigi might move to Komusubi after an 8-7 from Maegashira 5. Everyone else around him is not looking so hot, but these guys are going to be in green. Everyone with a losing record is going to be in red. And maybe even some of these 7 and 8s will stay in the same spot, which does happen often enough that, we can bank on it. But, it looks like there's a lot more losers than there are winners right now. So the big question is, who will be occupying these Sekiwake spots? Well, of course, we're going to have Daisho in the first spot, Wakamoto Haru in the second spot, Abi back to Komusubi, and then everyone else is a loser. So who the hell moves up to Komusubi? Is it actually going to be Nishikigi from Maegashira 5 going all the way up with an 8-7? It looks like that's the only person that could fit there. Asanoyama moving up to Maegashira 1. And does the Tommy Fuji stay the same rank with a 6-9 record? I don't know. But there's so many people that are going to be losing. There's no way Hirado Umi goes all the way up that far with an 8-7. There's no way Meisei makes it up that far with a 9-6, but they're the closest people. There's no way Ono Sato goes up that far with an 11-4. Let's do something a little bit easier. The Judio demotions, obviously going to be Aoyama, Bushozan, Tomokaze. I'm 50-50 on whether or not Takara Fuji will fall. It's very likely he does because there are, Daiamami, Nishiki Fuji, Roga and Kitana Waka right there to replace them. Endo might survive at the very bottom. Myogiryu might as well. Takara Fuji, it's going to be a close call, but at the very least, Aoyama, Bushozan, Tomokaze, all guaranteed to fall. Takara Fuji probably also going to fall. And that only fills up 4 slots. So let's do Daiamami is guaranteed to be back. And I think it's just these 4. Tohakuryu is going to get leapfrogged. Oops. And the rest of these guys down here in Judio, they will be moving up. Like Daiamami, probably like Maegashira 16 because we have to have room for Endo and Myogiryu at the bottom or something like that. But we'll come back to that. We really have to solve the problem up here of who is going to move up that far. And I guess we can query this now. Who is have there been any Maegashira 8s with an 8-7 that made it to Maegashira 1? And the answer is yes. The last time that happened was back in 2000 for Asano Waka. That's a long time ago. Let's see what happened on that Banzuke that triggered that. It was Asano Waka, Kotono Waka moving down, Akinoshima, Minato Fuji, Asano Waka moving up to Maegashira 1 from Maegashira 8 because everybody else above him lost. Kyoku Tenho, Wakanoyama, Tamakasuga. So looks like one of those standout situations where, yes, that is going to be the situation because Musoyama moved up, Miyabiyama and Tochiyazuma moved up, Tosano Umi and Kaio stayed at Komusubi, I'd have to assume, and then everybody else fell. So let me guess, it was Tochino Nara and Asano Waka next to each other at Maegashira 1 at the next tournament, I'd have to assume. Yes, it was. And then below them was Wakanoyama and Hamanoshima, who, let's see, Wakanoyama stayed or fell only 1 rank. And then who was the other one? Wakanoshima or Hamanoshima, an 8 and 7 from Maegashira 9. So very unusual Banzuke to compare it to, but the retirement of Wakanohana as well. Takanohana, Musashi Maru, Akebono. Who won the Yusho here? Maegashira 14, Takatoriki. Wow, that's crazy. You won the Yusho when there are 3 Yokozuna, 3, soon to be 4 Ozeki. That's crazy. All right, but anyway, that's I guess Hirado Umi is going to be a Maegashira 1 now. There's no one else to put up there. Meisei probably up to Maegashira 2. I think Atami Fuji will only fall to Maegashira 2 because, again, there's realistically nobody else that could fill those spots except maybe they're kind to Uda. And they put Meisei a little bit lower. So they could do something like Meisei down here. Uda, because he was a Komusubi with a 6 and 9. Maybe he only falls a rank and a half. Atami Fuji only falls a rank. Meisei up to Maegashira 3 with a 9 and 6. Definite over promotion for Hirado Umi right there, but maybe they put Meisei up there and Hirado Umi doesn't go up there. So let's actually go back to the query. It's over here. Let's go back over here and see Maegashira 9 with a 9. Oh, that's a 0. With a 9 and 6. We usually don't have to pull out the Banzuke query this early. But that does happen, not more often. But the last time it happened was more recently, at least, with Hokuto Fuji in 2018. What happened there? Hokuto Fuji in 2018, Maegashira 9 and 6. Ikioi moved down, Kaisei moved up, Tamawashi moved down, Yutakiyama moved down, Chiyotairyu, Shodai still up there, Endo, Abi, yeah, everyone above them moved down, so I'm going to assume it was Myogiryu. And then he did have Tochi Ozan above him as well, so let's see the next one. It was Tochi Ozan, Tamawashi. Tamawashi had a 4 and 11 from Komusubi, and he only fell to Maegashira 2. So maybe we factor that in as well with Takayasu. So maybe Hirado Umi doesn't go all the way up. So instead, maybe we have something like Hirado Umi is going to actually be Maegashira 2. Uda moves up to Maegashira 1. Maybe Hirado Umi isn't even there at Maegashira 2. But they have a Atami Fuji falling half of a rank. Takayasu had a 2 and 13 though, and he was injured. So maybe it's tough. Because we were supposed to find out if Hokuto Fuji, leapfrogs anyone here. And he does go up above Tochi Ozan. So maybe we have Meisei above Hirado Umi. And I think I'm going to keep Meisei above Hirado Umi no matter what the configuration is. It's just a question of, I think Atami, if we want to take this example, Aki 2018, as our example, we can see, let's see. Kyushu 2018, rather. Well, Hakuho, Kisano Sato, both, all 3 Yokozuna out for injury. What else is new? But taking a look at this one, or these 2 rather, where Hokuto Fuji makes it to Maegashira 1, Tamawashi only fell right there. Trying to look around, he does leapfrog Tochi Ozan. doesn't leapfrog Myongiryu. And then Nishikigi and Ryuden, they moved up as well. They were... Where were they on here? Nishikigi and Ryuden were 10 and 5 from Maegashira 12 and 13. Damn, we're like 6 years removed from this, and the same things are still happening, aren't they? They moved up to Maegashira 3. Shodai and Yoshikaze. Yeah, because the only loser here that could demote was Tamawashi. Ikioi probably fell massively. Let's try to see where Chiyotairyu fell. Ikioi fell to Maegashira 8. Chiyotairyu only fell to Maegashira 5. Whoops. So, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. So let's get away from that for a second and try to scooch people around now. Because I think Takayasu has to fall a bit further than that. It is a 2 and 13, but maybe his maximum fall is only around Maegashira 4. Because he was injured. I think they would be comfortable pushing Tamawashi and Tsurugisho and Takanosho back up. Because of the 3, the 2 of them have proven themselves before. Same with Oho. A bit of a question mark on him. Not sure how much they're going to give him. But I think this does also, we have to start moving these guys down, like Midori Fuji and Gonoyama, and Hokuto Fuji down a couple more because he went 4 and 11. Shodai is going to be below Hokuto Fuji. Ryuden is going to very much fall down the Banzuke. I'm just going to put him down there for now. Tobizaru, does he stay at Maegashira 4? I think it's likely. I think it is very likely. But then that's when we get to the question, we already moved up Asanoyama, Hirado, Umi, Meisei. But before we get there, let's also keep Keen Bowls on here for now. Move down Shonan no Umi. Move down Ichi Yamamoto. Move down Hokuseiho. Move down Mitake Yumi. And now, from Maegashira, we've moved all the guys around from Maegashira and up. Or Maegashira 9 and up. We haven't touched Tamawashi, Tsurugisho, Takanosho, Oho yet on the move ups, because I want to see how these losers might fall. And we do know that they are more lenient towards, Komusubi with losing records, which is why I'm comfortable putting Uda at just a Maegashira 1. Like a 1 rank fall with a 6 and 9. I think they're going to be kind to him. Whereas Takayasu, maybe they're a little more harsh to him because most of his losses were due to injury. It's hard to say. But as for the other guys, 5 and 10, 5 and 10. Really, the big question mark is, does Tobizaru move down at all, or does he keep the same rank? Same thing with Keen Bozan. Does he move down at all, or does he keep the same rank? Because realistically, who's going to move up into these slots? We did move up Meisei and Hirado Umi above them. I think that's fine and fair. But then Tamawashi, Tsurugisho, Takanosho, and Oho. 10 and 5 from Maegashira 11. Let me just check that out real quick. Maegashira 11, 10 and 5. So usually the highest rank is Maegashira 1. Midori Fuji, that happened to him, way over promoted, but came away with 7 and 8. Let's see, Maegashira 2 happens pretty frequently. Maegashira 3 and 4 seems to be more likely. Maegashira 5 and 6 and 7 is less likely. So the neighborhood of Maegashira 4 for someone like Oho and subsequently Takanosho might be the key here. The real question is, what happens with this Maegashira 2 slot? Does Itami Fuji only move down half of a rank? We move up Meisei and Hirado Umi and we put Oho up at Maegashira 3, Takanosho Maegashira 4, and then Tamawashi Tsurugisho next to each other at Maegashira 5? Or do we move down Tobizaru? Or does Takayasu get saved to Maegashira 4? Or, that's where a lot of these questions are going to be coming from. So it is going to be more difficult to say. Let me just continue looking at this chart to my left here. Yeah, lots of 10 and 5. I'm looking for the most recent ones. Let's So we got to go to the next page for that. Most recently, it was Midori Fuji. And Hokuseiho before that, only up to Maegashira 7. So the range is huge. Could be anywhere between Maegashira 7 and Maegashira 1, whatever makes sense. And then we also have to remember Takanosho is going to be moving up alongside him. So that does kind of beg the question, where does Tsurugisho and Tamawashi go? I think Oho 100% leapfrogs both of them. I think Takanosho also does too. So whatever we do, Takanosho and Oho will be above these other two. It's just a matter of, do we move Tobizaru down? Does Takayasu slot in right here? What do we do with Kinbozan? Does everybody move down to make room for these guys? I think all of them are fair, but we still have to answer the question, what happens at Maegashira 2? And just to move things along for now, I'll maybe compare my homework to other people later on, but I think what we might do is I think we'll have Meisei occupy that spot because he is a known factor. He is a former Sekiwake. He's very inconsistent, but I feel like they would give the nod to the former Sekiwake. I don't think they have Atami Fuji move down less than 1 full rank with his 6 and 9, and we can actually go back and see how often that happens as well. You know, Maegashira 1, 6, and 9. How often do they only fall to Maegashira 2? And a handful of times. The latest one was Koto Shogiku back in 2009. So let's go take a look at that Banzuke, see what happened there. Let's see. Everyone else around him lost. Goeido moved up. And there were so many other losers that no one else could realistically fill that spot. So, yeah, makes sense. Ami Nishiki fell. Toyonoshima fell. Haruma Fuji debuted at Ozeki that tournament. Hakuho Asashoryu, a 14-1 playoff. That's crazy. What a fun Banzuke. Yamamoto Yama. Yeah, that is it's a very similar situation. So I'm comfortable with Atami Fuji only falling 1 rank. Meisei moving up to Maegashira 2 off of a 9 and 6. I think he's going to be above Hirata Umi. I think this is fair. Then Oho at Maegashira 3. Takanosho at Maegashira 4. And Tsurugisho Tamawashi. Takayasu down next to Kinbozan. It's looking tight. It's looking a little tight here. So let's actually look up I don't know, 2 and 13 from Komusubi. We do have to remember that some of it was injury, and I accidentally opened my paint tool Sai, which I haven't used in years. So this doesn't happen too often, and the range is as wide as Maegashira 11 to Maegashira 4. But you have to remember these are 2 and 13 records. This is they fought every single match of the Basho. Whereas I don't know how true this is, but I have been told that they are less lenient towards people who are injured because they didn't actually fight. So I'd feel comfortable with Takayasu down here. Now, Midori Fuji and Gonoyama. Midori Fuji's going to stay above Gonoyama. Midori Fuji, Maegashira 2, 5, and 10. This seems like a little too far of a dip. But we've seen bigger dips, apparently. Most of the time, they seem to fall to Maegashira 5, Maegashira 6. Lots of Maegashira 6. Lots of Maegashira 7 as well. So, I think the median is Maegashira 6. The mean might be like Maegashira 5, 6. So, those spots are currently taken by Kinbozan. Midori Fuji, Gonoyama, I feel comfortable putting them at Maegashira 7. Slots in perfectly. The real question is, do they actually go there? Midori / Gono above or below Kinbo Taka. I'll put that note right there, because I feel like it truly could go either way. Midori Fuji and Gonoyama could both bump down Kinbozan, Maybe Takayasu is still somewhere in that mix as well, because again, out for injury. He only fought 5 matches of the tournament, whereas these guys won 5 matches in the tournament. So it's hard to say. It's very hard to say. And then it also kind of begs the question, what happens to some of these winners all the way down here, like Onosato, Onosho, Koto Shoho? They all had pretty damn good records. So let's move them up now. Koto Shoho, technically only a +3, but I think he's going to move up further. Onosho will leapfrog him. Onosato will leapfrog him. Shimazu Umi will stay below him. And we can kind of see things shaping up naturally as they do. And I don't want to just, you know, move all of this over and be like, okay, we're done. Because as clean as this looks, this was just, you know, me moving people down arbitrarily. This wasn't me actually, you know, doing anything here. We also have to move down Sada no Umi. We can't forget him. Probably won't fall that far, so this Maegashira 11 slot looks okay. We also do have to remember, and I've mentioned this before, maybe a few years ago, not years ago, but definitely a few months ago, because we've had so few extra slots open up lately, that even though the rank stays the same, they do still technically move down because of the way the Banzuke is currently working. So we have Kotonowaka moving up that occupies this open Ozeki slot. When that happens, everyone kind of shifts up that half of a rank. Like Daieisho moves to Sekiwake 1 East by default, but he's still the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guy on the Banzuke. So technically, Tobizaru staying at Maegashira 4 moves him down half of a rank, down 1 spot. If it were just ranked, you know, 1 through 42, that would move Tobizaru down 1 spot, even though he occupies the same rank. So we have to remember that as well, where, you know, someone like Sada no Umi, he's falling from Maegashira 10 to 11 in this example. I would still technically be falling down 1.5 ranks, or, you know, falling down 3 people. Same thing with, you know, what's happening to Atami Fuji at the top. He's only falling down 1 rank, but he is falling below, you know, that many people because everything else above him shifted. So I don't know how much they actually take that into account when they're making the Banzuke, but I feel like that does have an effect on things. So who am I missing down here? Myogiryu and Endo at the bottom, I think. Shurano Umi might stay the same, or might, you know, only move down a half of a rank. And then we do have the rest of the winners and the rest of the losers. And then we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots. So I'm missing someone. Who am I missing? Akira Fuji, Myogiryu, Shurano Umi, Sarano Umi, Kuroshoho. Tomokaze is down there. You're always missing someone when you make one of these. Always forget someone. So we have 4 promotions due to 4 demotions. I have an extra slot here. Who am I missing? Ichi Yamamoto, Hokuseiho, Mitake Yumi, Kinbozan, Ryuden. It's right there. Tobizaru staying in the same spot. Gon Oyama, Hokuto Fuji. Down there. Dori Fuji, Gon Oyama. We already did them. See, Tamawashi, Takanosho, Tsurugisho, Oho, Myogiryu, Endo, Chirano Umi, Shoho, Onosho, Onosato, Asai Takarafuji, Busho-san, Aoyama, Shimazu Umi. Yeah, I'm missing someone. This always happens. Nishikigi is up at Komusubi. Takayasu Uda. Tommy Fuji fell 1 rank. Wakamoto Haru back up to Sekiwake. No, wait, no, I'm not missing 1 rank. I'm stupid. Maegashira 17 West doesn't exist anymore. So I didn't miss anybody. Because Teruno Fuji's Yokozuna The Banzuke is slightly uneven. Maegashira 17 West will not exist. So I'm not that stupid. Okay, so let's shift everyone back a little bit. And for future reference, we will also just keep Myogiryu and Endo at the bottom here. And we'll try to figure out what happens with these guys. But I do think in terms of these Judio promotions, we'll probably see something like Nishiki Fuji, Itanowaka, Roga, Dayamami, something like that. We'll just keep the bottom of the Banzuke like this for now because this is realistically where these 6 people will go. Whether or not that is how the cards actually fall for them, we won't know, but I feel like that is the most likely scenario. Still sad about Takeda Fuji. There was an interview where he was asked about falling, how he feels about falling to Judio, and he said something to the effect of, I'm very much paraphrasing here because I don't remember the interview, but he basically said, like, I don't really care about the record. I just want to keep doing my good sumo, you know, like sumo wrestlers will say. So let's try to math out who's going to be falling where. I don't think Midori, I think this is a good threshold right here. The Kinbozan, Takayasu, Midori, Fuji, Gonoyama. Because I don't see them really falling any further just to make room for someone like Onosato, like Onosho. And I do think Onosato will leapfrog Onosho in the first place. Let's actually, again, take a look at Maegashira 15, 11, and 4, how often they fly. Not too often. And they can fall anywhere between Maegashira 9 and Maegashira 2. It looks like Maegashira 4, 5, and 6 is the most likely. But with this little bit of a traffic jam, I wouldn't put Onosato up above everyone just to shift everyone down another half of a rank, you know? Because again, I feel like we're being too harsh to Midori Fuji and Gonoyama already. I feel like we're being too harsh to Takayasu already. We could realistically shift down Kinbozan another half of a rank, or maybe a full rank, but doing all that shifting and bumping just to fit Onosato and Onosho up there might be a little too much work, if you know what I'm saying. We can kind of revisit Tamawashi Tsurugisho. Tamawashi from Maegashira 10. I don't think he's going to get leapfrogged by Onosho, who's a couple more ranks down. So I feel like Tamawashi to Maegashira 5. It's a bit of a stretch, but I think it's fine. And then, of course, the winners will slot in under these guys. Kotoshoho, Shimazu, Umi. Hokuto Fuji and Shodai, I think they're going to fall at about the same rank. Maybe even Shodai is above Hokuto Fuji because, again, Hokuto Fuji was out for injury while Shodai fought all of his matches. Again, I don't really know if that is true or not. I'm not about to go looking for a Banzuke to find that. So we'll just slot Hokuto Fuji Shodai right there. Ryuden with his 3 and 12 for Maegashira 5. I think he will fall below Ichi Yamamoto, maybe not below other people. Let me just shift these guys down one. Sado no Umi, Shonan no Umi, Chura no Umi. Shonan no Umi, Sado no Umi. Sado no Umi, I think most likely only falls the one rank. We do have to remember we have both sides of the Banzuke to work with, if I really wanted to. I think this is clean enough. Shonan no Umi, Chura no Umi. Because that was one of the issues on the last Banzuke. I got a lot of half points because I just didn't flip which side of the Banzuke they would fall on. Because I'm like, oh yeah, Onosho will stay on that side. And I didn't really put much more thought into it. So... But in terms of losses like this, I don't think it has to be overcomplicated like that. Like, maybe Nishiki Fuji is bumped up over Hokuseiho, you know? I don't know. But, realistically, Hokuseiho probably could fall a bit further with only 2 wins. Let's see. Let's check that out. So, Maegashira 8 with only 2 wins. We're going to keep the losses column empty. And now we have to sift through all of these other guys from the 1800s. Just go by date and then hit last. All right, so wow, falling to Judio 4, Hokuseiho, that's a little bit rough, but doesn't look like it happens often. And Maegashira 14, 16, Judio Maegashira 17. So Hokuseiho could realistically fall to Judio. I'm not opposed to that kind of thing, especially if it can save Takara Fuji. But then we have to ask the question, who would be promoted? Not Tohakuryu with an 8 and 7. Toki Hayate is too far away with his 10 and 5. Even Takeru Fuji's 13 and 2. I think he's going to be number 1 on the Judio Banzuke, if anything. So Hokuseiho, maybe he falls below at least a couple of these guys, like Nishiki Fuji, Kitano Waka, Roga. Maybe he just falls right here above Dayamami. I think I like that. Mitsaki Yumi, he's not going to fall as far as I have him falling right now. Definitely not. He's only 6 and 9 from Maegashira 9. I think Ichi Yamamoto is going to leapfrog him and Ryuden leapfrogging him. So we could probably do something like this where Mitaki Yumi, Ichi Yamamoto, and Ryuden look like that. Shonana Umi and Churana Umi. Might have Shonana Umi falling a little too far too. Ryuden is definitely going to be below him. Something like that. Ichi Yamamoto with his 5 and 10. Shonana Umi a 4 and 11. Yeah, I could see that. Churana Umi, where is he? He only had a 7 and 8 from Maegashira 13, and there's no way he can actually move up. So maybe he also stays the same rank. Again, because he does still mathematically fall down 1 person. I have a finished product here, but I can't say I'm too comfortable with it. I should have done this before I started recording, but let me go to the LeoDSumo Discord server and see if anyone else has submitted a Banzuke just yet. And we do have, this was made by Hyperfixated Rookie in the Guess the Banzuke Discord. And has anyone else done it? No, those are bingo cards. We're not going to copy anyone's homework. And this is posted by a person named Gare. Let's see, anyone else? No. So let's take a look at their guesses. Compare and contrast to my guesses. Let me scooch out of the way a little bit. So let's see. They have Uda falling to Maegashira 1, like I do. They have, let's see, Meisei and Atami Fuji at Maegashira 2. They don't have Meisei leapfrogging Atami Fuji. I can kind of agree with that. This person is Tobizaru moving up to Maegashira 2. So maybe we disregard that one. But let's see. Meisei, Hirado Umi. What did I say? Yeah, Hirado Umi at Maegashira 3. This person has Oho and Takanosho up to Maegashira 3. That's interesting. They aren't giving the nod to Hirado Umi, who had an 8 and 7. Does Hirado Umi get leapfrogged by Oho and Takanosho? That's a good question, actually. And honestly, I think I will agree with that. Oho and Takanosho above Hirado Umi. Tobizaru staying at the same rank. Midori Fuji. Maybe I am being a little too hard on Midori Fuji and Gonoyama. Again, it's hard to say. We can separate some of these winners like Tsurugisho and Tamawashi. Maybe we can even pull Hirado Umi a bit further down to make room for them. I think that is an appropriate move. So pulling Tsurugisho and Tamawashi down to put Midori Fuji and Gonoyama a little bit higher. I think that fits. I think I like that. Tamawashi, an 8 and 7 from Maegashira 10, Tsurugisho, a 9 and 6 from Maegashira 11. I think I like that. I think that fits. I think Kinbo's on stairs stays where he is, and Takayasu slotting in right next to him, I think, is the most appropriate thing. Because again, he was out for injury. He didn't actually lose those matches of his own volition. Below that, they have Onosho, Tamawashi, Koto Shoho. Where do they put Onosato? Maegashira 7. Does Onosato leapfrog the likes of Tamawashi and Tsurugisho? I think I agree with that too. I could easily put Onosato above Tamawashi and Tsurugisho. I think I'm very okay with that. Onosato up to Maegashira 7. Onosho across from Tamawashi. Does Onosho get that leapfrog too? I mean, if Onosato got it, then why not? Does Tsurugisho get passed up though? With a 9 and 6. He was already passed up by Takanosho and Oho, who flew much higher. Onosho from a couple ranks lower. Maybe Tsurugisho doesn't go below Onosho. I'll write that down now. Tsurugisho swap with Onosho. Don't really know. Let's see. Koto Shoho, Hokuto Fuji. They also have Koto Shoho, Hokuto Fuji next to each other. They have Shodai Ichi Yamamoto coming down here, whereas I have Shimazu Umi Shodai. I might be a little too harsh towards Ichi Yamamoto here. Shimazu Umi with his 9 and 6, I think I'd rather put him above everyone in this pack, but if I scooch him down a little bit to be a little bit more kind to Ichi Yamamoto, then it's like an under promotion, or maybe an appropriate promotion. Let's shift everyone over one. I think the way I have all of these guys listed as they are is the most appropriate. Chura no Umi, Maegashira 13. I could put, oops, accidentally erased someone. I could put Shimazu Umi right here, I think. And I feel like that's appropriate too. Going up to Maegashira 12 from Maegashira 17. He's below the guys that lost higher. So, you know, Ichi Yamamoto, Maegashira 7 to 11. Shonna no Umi, Maegashira 6 to 13. Shimazu Umi slots in right there. And then Chura no Umi stays the same rank. Ryuden gets hurt the hardest. Maegashira 5 to 13 off of a 3 and 12. Maybe that is a little too rough. Maybe Ryuden goes above him. This person also has Shimazu Umi above Ryuden and Chura no Umi. Then they have Nishiki Fuji, Kitana Waka. Then that's where they put Myogiryu, Endo, and they're also promoting Takeru Fuji. They're kicking Hokuseiho off the Banzuke here, which I'm 50-50 on that. Does Hokuseiho get booted? I don't think, because we were asked this, you know, live. I don't think Takeru Fuji makes it up after this Basho. Even with a 13 and 2. I don't think that happens. I was asked that on day 15. I was asked that a couple of times, you know, throughout the tournament. I don't think he makes it up. Because even then, Toki Hayate is closer, even though his record is 10 and 5. It's a little finicky, because you still have Tohakuryu there as well with an 8 and 7, a lot closer too. It's a little finicky. They have Endo and Myogiryu above the likes of Roga and Dayamami, which, if anything, I would think Endo is more in danger of falling off the Banzuke than Hokuseiho. But let's compare to this other person who thinks Tobizaru is moving up 2 ranks. Being very kind to Midori Fuji. They have Oho and Takanosho up to Maegashira 4. They put Meisei at Maegashira 3, yeah. So they moved Tobizaru up for some reason, which I don't see that happening. But let's see the rest of their Banzuke. They also have Takeru Fuji moving up. Daiamami, Roga, Kitanowaka, and Nishiki Fuji. They have Endo and Myogiryu. There's no way Endo only falls a half of a rank after a 5 and 10 record. I do not agree with that. If anything, Endo is going to be at the bottom of the Banzuke. I guess I'm questioning now if Hokuseiho stays up here. Let's see. In the middle parts, they have Onosato and Tamawashi at Maegashira 7. I have Tsurugisho leapfrogging Tamawashi in the first place, so that's just not going to happen on my Banzuke. Theirs is a little unusual here. Takanosho, Hirado Umi, Tsurugisho. They have Tsurugisho going up to Maegashira 6. Which I guess isn't too far off of the mark I put. They have Keen Bozan also moving up a rank, which I just don't think that's going to happen. It has happened before in history, where a 7 and 8 did indeed move up a rank, but I don't think it's going to happen here. I think I'm just going to throw out that person's Banzuke guesses. Because let's actually, go and see. Not even look by rank, 7 and 8. Lots of 7 and 8s in history, let's be real. But when is the last time someone moved up after 7 and 8? Look, there are 4,000 results. And let's see, 14 to 15, 7 to 8, 6 to 6 half, 4 to 4, 3 to 4. Let's see. They stay the same rank. 2023. Let's go back. Not to the first. Not to the first. I don't know if I'd be able to narrow it down to 7 and 8, but they moved up. Let's see, like Maegashira 4 to Maegashira 3 at the very least. It's happened 3 times in history. Maegashira 4 moving up a rank with a 7 and 6. In 43, 60, and 67. Let's see, Maegashira 5. Never happened before. Maegashira 6. Oh, wait. I opened Paint Tool Sai again. That hidden taskbar thing. All right, so Maegashira 5 to 4 has happened twice in the 60s. Let's try Maegashira 6 to 5. It's happened once in the 40s. Let's see, 7 to 6. Happened once in the 60s. Let's see, 8 to 9. Maegashira 8 to 9 happened a lot in the 60s, 70s, 80s. A couple times in the 90s, a handful of times in the thousands. Oh wait, I did it backwards. I was gonna be surprised right there. Maegashira 9 to 8. Wrong way. Once in the 40s. Maegashira 8 to 7. Yeah, 3 times. So it's happened so few times in history that I just don't think moving someone up, even in a situation like this where they can, over promote a guy or two or over demote just 1 or 2 guys, I feel like moving someone up is unnecessary. And I feel like that would only happen if we had multiple retirements or promotions. Like if all 4 Yokozuna promoted right away, then, Ozeki to Yokozuna, I mean, if they all promoted right away, then maybe we see, a 7 and 8 move up a rank or 2. But like in this case, it had a small shot of happening because we do have Kotonowaka moving up. If we also had, Daisho moving up, or if we also had Kirishima moving up to Yokozuna, that's 2 spots everyone has to shift up now. Then maybe we see that 7 and 8 moving up the ranks, but it's just not happening here. Everything else can fall a little more cleanly. Hokuseiho falling for Takeru Fuji, I think, is going to be a big question on my mind. I'm not going to move Myogiryu and Endo from the bottom of the Banzuke here. I think this is where they will fall, and I think it's the most appropriate. Maybe Daiamami below them. Maybe Daiamami below Endo. Maybe. That's the only saving I will give them. 5 and 10 from Maegashira, 12 and 13 is horrendous, and they should only be saved by the skin of their teeth at the bottom of the Banzuke. But then again, Daiamami with an 8 and 7 moving up 1 rank, appropriate. But I feel like he should also be above them. Let's see. Do I have anything else to go over here that I'm kind of questioning? Shodai 4 and 11 from Maegashira, 4 all the way down to 10. I think Shodai goes above Hokuto Fuji. Because of Hokuto Fuji's injury. Again, I don't remember where I heard it from. I don't remember if it's true or not, but I was told that people who are injured, they are less lenient towards them. Which is also why we're putting Takayasu down to Maegashira 6, which I think fits fine. I might revisit Hirada Umi. Moving that far up off of an 8 and 7, but I feel like it's the only appropriate thing to do there in that situation. This person has him at Maegashira 6. Takayasu only down to Maegashira 5 kind of makes sense. So maybe... yeah, maybe Hirada Umi... I'll just make another note of it. Because Takayasu, is a fan favorite. They might be a tiny bit more lenient towards him, but I mean, only 2 wins from Komusubi. I feel like they gotta smack him down. But overall, I think this is a pretty good guess here. I think this is some good guesses. I will be, updating and, well, I say that, but I almost never do. But I will be looking out to, scooch some of these guys around, maybe take a look at other people's Banzuke guesses when I start to see those coming out on things like Twitter and in the LeoDSumo Discord. But for now, I think this is the best guess I can come up with. Some of it near the middle and bottom was a little bit quick and dirty, but it's one of those things where when you start to overthink it, you will, overshoot your shot. But at the same time, if you don't overthink it, then you end up with, me getting 140th place out of 170 people. So it's really hard to call these things. I've only ever done well like twice, where I got 17th back in like 2021 or something. So even, me having difficulty with it, it's just normal, The Banzuke is a living thing. You'll never call it 100% correct. I don't think I've ever seen someone call it 100% correct. But for what we have going for us right now, I think this is the best it is going to be. Teruno Fuji, Kirishima, Hoshoryu, Takakeisho, Kotonowaka, all up there, of course. Daieisho, Wakamoto Haru, Abi, Nishikigi, of course. Asanoyama, of course. Uda, I want to say, of course. And then, these top up to Maegashira 1, pretty secure in. And then everything from Meisei down is like, I don't know. So even things like Tobizaru and Kinbozan staying the same rank, I'm like, who knows? So we'll figure it out. Again, I might edit my guesses. I probably won't because I almost never do. But this was me guessing the Banzuke for the March Basho 2024. And remember, if you want a better score than me, just don't guess what I do, because I'm going to get like bottom 30th percentile, All right, we will see y'all next week. I will be putting out the lower division's top 10 videos. And then that following Wednesday, the upper division top 10 videos. And you all know Uda's match is going to be number 1. But what about the other 9 matches? Be sure to look out for those.